During the following discussion, there will be talks specifically about white people and whiteness in general. I would like to make it clear that I include myself in this category. I don't see myself as being above any of the negative things that may be said about whiteness or white people. I also recognize that as a white person, I can bring my own biases, prejudices, and internalized white supremacy into this conversation, or any conversation for that matter. My promise is that I will do my best to avoid saying anything that could be truly harmful to anyone. And I would like to make it clear that ultimately, race is not actually real. Genetically, it doesn't exist. Race is an idea that we have been raised to believe in and act in accordance with. So even though it isn't real in a physical sense, it guides our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, which makes it profoundly powerful and worthy of investigating. Whiteness is an idea about who deserves preferential treatment within our society. This includes a range of privileges, opportunities, and social and legal protections that are not available to non-white people. And whiteness is only possible through its relationship with blackness. This relationship between whiteness and blackness exists in two ways. The first is on a conceptual level, where they are opposite concepts. The second is as a class system, where black people are denied equal treatment with white people. This standard for whiteness and who has access to it is imposed upon all of us by outside forces, namely the wealthiest and most powerful white men in our country and around the world. Whiteness is designed to be a flexible category so that they can adapt it to their wants and desires. The purpose of all of this is to help them maintain their position of incredible power. When we talk about racism, I will be talking directly about this global system of power that favors white people over non-white people. Racism is the machine that keeps this class system in place. It is a political, military, economic, and social institution that affects the lives of everyone who lives under it, whether white or black or any other ethnic group. Another word for racism is the system of white supremacy. Both terms refer to a massive power structure intent on maintaining an imbalance of power between different quote-unquote races. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some uncomfortable things, and that is by design. Discomfort is where the magic happens, it's where the change begins, and as change makers, discomfort is where we have to sit. If at any time during this discussion you hear something that makes you feel triggered, please practice a pause. In that moment of pause, you are just feeling that emotion and identifying it and validating it. I would then ask you to take some time later to reflect on how you felt in that moment and how you can grow from it. The truth is that we'll all be doing harm for the rest of our lives. The least we can do is to cause less harm while we do this work. Speaking of reducing harm, I want to remind you that this is a fundraiser for Empower DC. They are working every day to ease the burden of people who are suffering from or threatened by the forces of racism here in our nation's capital. Any organization needs financial resources in order to be successful and achieve their goals. So, as an act of anti-racism, I ask you to please donate whatever you can afford at this time. The link to their donations page is pinned in the chat. If you make a donation during this event, please post a $sign in the chat so I can shout you out. If you are watching this video sometime later as a recording, I would say Even though you are in the future and the live stream has already ended, it is still a good time to donate. So please do what you can. I'm sure that the link is listed somewhere below.